think I figured out that I can record the mic using hardware input number 3. Because if I use 1, it gives me feedback and starts delaying. And I'm not sure why, but that's what it does. Let me turn off this, see how it sounds. Does it sound better? No. So we got rid of some of that isolation noise that exists in the back. However, it is a little delayed, it feels like. So I'm not sure why that's the case. Let's see if we can play this audio. So what I did here was I built this track starting with the S4, torso S4. So I sampled in, I don't know, like 7-8 bars or something, and then started tweaking it and making it my own, right? And then I came up with this sample. It's kind of a nice drone that's got movement. I put a lot of modulation in it to create this movement, and it's literally just one sample. And I'm reversed it. I think originally I was gonna multiply the sample and do different things with it, but then I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna stick with one. So then I wanted to do something different that I don't really talk about, but I do this all the time in Ableton, and that is build yourself a drum break, but play the drum break. Don't just do it with MIDI. So, in other words, what I mean is play 8 bars instead of 2 bars that a lot of people do. Play 8 bars. And you don't need to do it with MIDI one shots. Well, you could, but excuse the noise in the back. My family's home, so it is what it is. But I'm using Pocket Jazz preset here with one shot. And what I did was I drum in now I could probably do this all at one time, but I drum this time in the hi-hats because I wanted the hi-hat pattern to feel a little different. And what this is doing is giving you a chance to not have everything perfectly on a grid. And it's more natural when you just play it. So the only reason the stretch is on there is to tell me really what the bars are, but I didn't fix anything on this. I just drummed through 4 bars. Actually, I did 4 bars. I thought I did 8. Did I do 8 here? Yeah, I did 8 on the kick and the snare. So you can mix it up. You could have, and then you can make multiple patterns too. You don't have to just do 4. Now, what I like about using one shot is because it has the round robin, every time you hit it, you're getting a different sample, a different hit. It hits a little, so each hi-hat is going to sound a bit different when you hit it, right? Which gives you more of a natural feel because every time you hit a hi-hat in real life, it's going to sound a little different each time you hit it. So that gives you that vibe. And then I used 2 different hats and then an open hat, right, to create that. Same thing here. I'm using a rim and a kick, but because it's got the round robin, it's going to sound a little bit different each time you hit it. So what you can do too, and I highly suggest this, is add knock on, adjust the sub, maybe put the clip a little bit higher, some air if you need it, saturation, and punch. And this is a great plugin to do that. I turn the pristine up high, turn the tone down a little bit, and I left the air off on this one because the drums inside of one shot already have some reverb and air and things of that nature on it. See, so I didn't feel like I need to add much more. But if you do this, you can even make it dirty or lo-fi if that's your vibe. But the idea is to give it some character, right? And there's other ways to do it. You can put a saturator over it. You can put whatever you want to do to doctor up your drums. Doctor vibe if you want that 202 or 303 vibe on there too. And then this, wait, not that. I'm sorry. Then this is Sheikah from Clef Grand, and you can go in and make your own percussion too. So this is a great one too, and it already has a lot of reverb, so I don't really need to add anything, but me blending two sounds, two different patterns to create one. So that's in there. And then this is just me playing the violin with a little saturation and reverb. Right? And it's very repetitive, but it's just a little 2-bar. But again, play it. Don't make one shots and then just sequence one shots. Actually play 2 bars or whatever. Because if you look at this, even with the stretch on, it's not right on time. So that's good. You don't want to have to manually do that. It's annoying to manually move each step. So as much as you can play, even if it's just 2 bars or whatever. I only did 2 because I don't mind it being somewhat repetitive. But I highly suggest playing as much as you can. The more you play 2, the better you get at it. And then so I put all that together, and this is what it sounds like. I added some dropouts too, so you can hear those. This is my mastering chain on iOS, which is practically the same thing on desktop. I use that natural width. I've shown this before. And then usually my go-to on iOS, which prior to recently finding some other plugins on desktop that I really like, I'd go to Tone Booster, Barricade, and this gave me the compressor limiter I like, which is Loud Master. Now your sound is beefed up there, and then if you need the visuals to see, where is it at? BFM, there it is. Go to the wave, so now you can see your wave and see where it's hitting. You can look at it in stereo if you want. I'm gonna just keep it in mono. There you go. So if you need to adjust the mids, you can bring in an EQ. And the one I like on here that's affordable, if you got the Fab filter, it's pretty good. Get the Pro Q3. But if you don't, a little more affordable, get this one from Tone Booster. If you're gonna shape, probably shape up here. This one's pretty good. I don't use this as much as the Fab filter, but it does have everything you need to function. I'm gonna get the Fab filter though. I do like it a little bit better, but that one's pretty good for the price, right? Because it's a little more affordable. What's dope about this is just click somewhere and whatever you need to boost it. Whatever you need to cut it. There are some settings in here default wise, like for your mix, and I used to use these, which they work pretty good for like a general mix. So you can put that on. Then check again. It's a little better. But use your ears so that you can hear it, right? look in here, you'll see where I dropped out the drums. All I did was remove a spot. See, just slide it over. And you look up here at the end and see what's going on. That's it, just like that. All right, cool. So that is just my little iOS thing that's going on right now. Always make sure you save your work. Same in here. Make sure you save if you don't want to lose it. Um, and there you go. And you see, I'm using less squares. Like I know a lot of people fill this whole thing up, and I'm just like, why? I mean, if you're searching for samples, okay, maybe I get it. But after a while, it's like you can eliminate some of that stuff. Just keep it simple. Don't forget label your stuff. That usually helps. So if you export, it keeps the label. That's important. I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm just saying that's very important for you to have. Use your colors that they have now and just, you know, keep your stuff organized. The more organized you are, the better it is. You can flow a lot better and you'll get a little workflow down that works for you. And then from time to time, you can experiment and explore. Is this the best sequencer? No, but it definitely is useful and you can definitely make some really good songs in here. The one thing that's the most challenging probably is being able to play a solo. Um, it's not impossible, it's just more challenging. So I tend to do my solos in Ableton. I've done it in the past, but I like to see, I like to be able to just press record and play like I'm in a DAW. Now, if you have Logic or Beatmaker 3, you can go in those two and maybe put your tracks in there and then go ahead and record solos or whatever you're going to do if you do vocals or whatever. I always say use that to do that and use Koala more for the production portion of it if that's your vibe. Anyway, make some breaks, some things like that. After you make a break in here, you can actually bounce that down to a solid um, break, and then you can go back in and do more, maybe change up the patterns or something. So it's fun to do that and play and get your little drum breaks that you want to use for your song. And make an intro, right? If you need an intro, you can do that, whatever that may be. All right. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.